Hello, welcome to Terrestrial Moments, the YouTube channel. My name is Terry, and I am your host, where we talk about all things mental health, spirituality, the great outdoors, art, music, and the intersection of these topics. None of the topics on this channel are meant to diagnose any conditions or give advice. These are my opinions and experiences, musings, and entertainment. So welcome to the channel. If any of these topics are interesting, it's a great time to subscribe. The channel is definitely growing in the sense of I'm becoming more focused and more comfortable with these long range videos. So it just means so much when people stick around, drop a comment, let me know what they think, subscribe, share with a friend. And this topic today is a little personal development type topic, which is something that I'm very passionate about in life. It's something I spend a lot of time working on for myself, mostly through journaling, meditation, fitness, these type of things. And something that came up for me in the past 2 weeks, someone said to me in a kind and compassionate, they were really seeing me, and it was kind and compassionate, and they said, oh yeah, you learned through the school of hard knocks. And it made me it brought up my ego. I'll be honest, it brought up my ego. And I had to check myself and really be like, why does it bring up my ego to hear that someone's opinion of me is that I learned through the school of hard knocks? And so I really started thinking about the school of hard knocks and what it means and what it means to me, and why was I getting, that little bit of trigger come up. And it's just so funny because the school of hard knocks for me, once I started really thinking about it all, I found myself thinking, can you graduate from the school of hard knocks? Because yeah, there's been some life lessons that I've needed to learn them, and kind of learn them in a way that was painful and difficult. And what I kind of came up with without doing much research was that about the school of hard knocks was that I think in some ways it's a mindset. Once you're in a mindset of hard things happen to me, bad things happen to me, I go through hard things, that is a mindset that can be really toxic and easy to stay stuck in. So that's part of what my school of hard knocks has been, is having that mentality that oh, the world is hard, people wrong me, people take advantage, walk all over. And what it's really come down to is learning boundaries, really learning boundaries. So in the school of hard knocks, I think one of the classes, or one of the classes that people need to repeat sometimes, is to have healthy boundaries. And people used to say this to me growing up, and I didn't get it. I thought that boundaries were a no, putting up a wall, but boundaries are really about having connection, but letting people know what they can and cannot do in regards to the connection and the relationship. That's why boundaries are really, really important. They help keep you safe. And in the school of hard knocks, there, for me anyway, some of I'm going to try to do all this without getting too far into the details of it all, but the bigger picture ideas of other people have it easier, other people have it good, not me. Again, that's a mindset thing. That's straight up that is a decision to choose to think that way. And guess what happens when you think a certain way and you look at the world a certain way? You're going to see it that way. And that's something I've had to really learn in the School of Hard Knocks. It doesn't serve me to look at the world like other people are better than me and my circumstances, and other people have more, or like that imposter syndrome, right? For example, I got certified to teach yoga, just the 200-hour certification, and I didn't teach for 10 years because I thought, what do I have to offer? I'm not perfect, so there's another one, perfection in the School of Hard Knocks. You're gonna learn, if you're so obsessed with perfection and in yourself, you're never gonna reach your goals just are gonna sit on the shelf. And so I am gonna start teaching yoga this year, 2025, and I'm very, very excited about it. But that's another side note on my personal journey with it all. And I think the really beautiful I have a lot more to say about the School of Hard Knocks, but I'll make 2 more points before I wrap this video up for today. The School of Hard Knocks, it's not I was able to let go of it from the ego standpoint, because what I realized from having a few different conversations with people and just really thinking about it more is, when you go through these kind of difficult lessons, you come out the other side with a unique perspective if you're able to get out of the loop. Being stuck in the loop is just, then you're the kind of example of what not to be. But if you're able to get out of the loop, then you can be the example of you can have that leadership and that guidance to others. So that's something that I hold really sacred and special, that I see myself getting out of the loop, and I see myself being of service and of value to other people in ways that I've always wanted to and always knew that I was meant to in my life. But because of some of the mindset barriers and blocks that I created, I was not able to for many years. And then the last thing I'll say about the School of Hard Knocks is that in preparation for this video, I did do a quick YouTube search, where did the term come from? And all I could find is that in 1870, there was a book written called The Men Who Advertise. And it was first documented in that book, to my understanding. And the book was about men who advertised at that time, and kind of what their tricks and secrets and the psychology of advertising. So I thought that was really interesting, especially because when you're having a YouTube channel, a lot will go into it in the sense of marketing and advertising for your brand, because YouTube channels are a really great creative outlet, and they're also a way to build passive income when you get the channel monetized. So I'm really excited to talk more about that and keep exploring this YouTube journey with you all. So once again, Terrestrial Moments, my name's Terry. Thanks for checking out the video. I hope to see you in the future and connect then. Mwah!